What's up, Gong community? You have Brian Lamana. I'm currently a strategic mid-market account executive over at Gong, and my sales superpower is using Gong Engage to confidently manage and drive forward my pipeline at every single step of the sales process or the customer lifecycle. So prior to having Gong, what I used to do is I'd look at like a report list out of CRM and something like HubSpot or Salesforce. And I'd go through a list of all my active customers and my active opportunities and ask myself questions like, when is my next meeting with them? Do I owe them any action items from a follow-up or something I promised? Am I multi-threaded enough at that account? But it's really, really difficult when I have 20, 30, 40 different accounts in my name that I'm actively working to stay on top of each and every one of those. And ultimately what happens is things slip through the cracks. Gong Engage fixes that. So in this view here on the left, you can go to your pipeline view and it's going to sort your to-dos by the top priorities, looking at things like the amount of the deal, the account, the close day, what stage it's at. And it's going to recommend different to-dos for you as a seller to actually execute on, or you can dismiss them altogether. So the first one is the distinction. It says, hey, I had a meeting 2 days ago with Herschel Kramer. I promised 6 different next steps that I can see here. I can actually view the call as well. And Gong will say, hey, Brian, do you want us to write your email for you? Brian says yes. So I'm going to click that right email button. What Gong is doing is drafting my follow-up from this call into the key points, the action items, and the next steps at a very minimum. This is a great starting point for me to maybe change a couple sentences, add some rapport in, and then I'll fire off send right after I move my big head to the far right. So a really quick way, if I forgot to send a follow-up to any meetings, especially if it's just like a recurring meeting where they might not even open up the follow-up email in the first place, great way to save 10, 15 minutes across every call by doing something like that. Next one here with Aeroglass. Says Filbert Rice might be waiting to hear from you. Great, that's not good. They wrote me 3 days ago, so I can actually see the email down below. You're right, I forgot. They emailed me, I totally forgot to cover this. They asked me about the data migration strategies and I haven't yet delivered on that, right? So again, in one click, I can pull up that email composer, respond to them in real time, and get on top of that action item. Gong doesn't just look at things like meeting follow-ups and emails that slip through the cracks. It looks across 12 different what we call assists. It'll also identify when I have an account or an opportunity without a next meeting and suggest that I reach out to them and get that meeting on the calendar. It's going to recommend when I reach out to a prospect, if I get like an out of office email that says, hey, I'll be back next Thursday, August 15th. Well, on August 15th, it's going to say, hey, Brian, they're back in office. Do you want to reach out to them? Another one of my favorite is if I have a meeting scheduled and they haven't accepted the invite yet, it's going to say, hey, you have this meeting coming up next Thursday, but none of the people on it have accepted. Do you want to send a quick note reconfirming the meeting and reminding them of it? All of these little assists or nudges are super helpful for me as a seller because I'm really busy throughout my workday, and it's going to help keep the most important things front and center.